this is Jackie, and I'm here with Young Guns on day one of Dallas Vans Warped Tour. Ready to go? We're dealing with the heat?
Just about. We are English, so we're not used to dealing with this kind of heat, this extreme, but it's exciting. This is our first Warped Tour. We grew up reading about it, knowing other bands that did it when we started playing music, and it's always been a real goal. So it is hot, but we're so excited to be here, man. We can deal with it just fine. And plus, we don't really get the sun in England, so it's quite nice.
You don't get the sun in England, but you got it now, so might as well enjoy it. Describe the sound on your lead-off single, Bulletproof.
It was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like, I guess, like a rowdy sort of rock song. That's kind of what we wanted to do, just like kind of straight up rock, not too many like bells and whistles like synths or anything like that. We kind of just wanted to go straight down the line and just straight to the point, really. So
yeah, it's kind of it was fun for us because this is our fourth record, and it was fun for us to kind of experiment a little bit on this album. So with the sound of that song, we almost went for a slightly more kind of alive, organic, like garage rock kind of feel. We'll always be kind of like a modern kind of anthemic rock band, I suppose, but we wanted to kind of just try and like sit the guitars and stuff a little differently and make it feel a little looser and kind of more rowdy, I guess. So that was really good fun. It's not necessarily what the record sounds like, but we just thought that would be a fun first single to put out because it does something that we haven't done before.
What was your writing process like?
Well, that song actually came together really quick. In fact, we wrote this whole album in like 8 weeks, which usually takes us about 8 weeks to write one song. So that was nice. But the song came together really quickly. We finished touring in October last year off the last album, because the last album only came out in June last year, so it's going to be like a year and a month or two between albums. And we just found ourselves in a really creative place. We were writing almost all day, every day, you know, and that song just kind of like fell out. I think John had the riff, or in fact, I had the melody and John on Fraser had put together the progression. And then we were like, well, it's cool, but how can we make it a little more interesting? And then you got the guys just kind of dropped the riff over it as opposed to it being power chords. And the song kind of just evolved from there and bloomed. And the bridge with the kind of Foo Fighters thing going on happened. And it was really quick and spontaneous. And that's what the song feels like to me. So I was glad that we managed to kind of capture that when we recorded it.
Excellent. So how is this song different, or how is it an evolution from, you mentioned this is your fourth album,
yeah.
So how has your sound kind of evolved and differed?
It's a difficult question. I mean, I think all of our albums are kind of like representative of like where we are at that point in time. We're kind of, and the last album, it was like, I guess, more based around like electronics and like that sort of thing. So this album, like Gus was saying, is a little more live feeling, a little rawer, but I mean, there's still that electronic element throughout the album, but that song in particular, Bulletproof, is kind of, like I was saying, it is like, you know, 2 guitars, bass, and drums, and vocals, you know.
What are some messages you hope fans take away from the songs?
Well, I think Bulletproof, the song itself, is just about kind of empowerment. You know, it's about kind of feeling like you're bulletproof. You know, life throws all kinds of things at you, and often it's about how good you can get at getting back up that, you know, determines how far you go. And being in a band, like with all things, you have ups and downs, or as a human being, you know, and I think that I liked the idea of rock music is typically, and I am typically quite I tend to kind of wander on the darker side of things, and this time I just wanted to make a kind of a more positive statement about kind of just having a bit of self-love and a bit of faith in yourself and the strength that we all have inside. And I like the idea that hopefully that message translates to people, you know. That means something to me, so.
So how do you guys go about choosing your set for Warped?
We started with like, there's 3 songs where like we have to play these, and then the rest is just like a 3-day argument about what we want to play, like kind of deciding what we're doing. We have a new drummer with us, a guy called Chris Camarada, who's done Warped like 3 times. So it's kind of nice to have his input over ours, like, because he kind of knows what the fans expect or what they kind of want to hear. So it was interesting to have that opinion from someone else.
It's about how many songs he can learn in a couple of days, you know. So there is that.
Well, let's see what they've learned. Check out a lot more from Young Guns. This is Jackie. Thanks to In the Key of Change and Chorus.fm.